Good morning, folks. It's a beautiful day here in Nevada County. We're taking the Starduster out. We had a request from a certain YouTuber that he wanted to see some spins in the Starduster. I've already spun the Starduster quite a few times. I've done up to 4 turns, both going right and left, and it recovers pretty traditionally. I've also done some shorter spins and just let go of the controls to make sure it would recover kind of without any input, and it comes out real easy. So she's a nice spinner. I like spinning it. But before we get too far into this, you may ask yourself, well, why is Blanco telling Trusty to go out and spin his Starduster? Don't. It seems like every other video that Blanco posts is a guy stall spinning his plane into the ground. But stalls, spins can be, they are a controlled maneuver if they're done properly with plenty of altitude. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to get way up there. We're going to do a little, I'm going to do a little more testing. I want to see if I can kind of nail some one-turn spins and come out right on heading. And I want to see how much altitude I lose in a one-turn spin. And then I also want to try some half-turn spins, which, well, let me get my airplane.
My name is Jared White. Join me as we explore Northern California and beyond, enjoying the somewhat more affordable side of general aviation.
Keep throwing.
In the Starduster, and probably most planes, it really doesn't really get into the spin until you're about halfway around. The top wing, I believe the top wing stalls first, and the airplane starts to bank, and then kind of as it's coming around, then it really, probably about a quarter of a turn in is when it really starts spinning, and it really whips it around. But the airplane is still not quite going straight down. It's still got some forward momentum. And so if I try to recover right here, basically I'm gonna be kind of halfway inverted, kind of on a down line, and it's gonna take me some altitude to fully pull out. So I'm curious to see how much altitude I lose trying to recover from a half-turn spin as opposed to a full-turn spin. I also just kind of want to see my airspeed too and just see how fast we get going. Fortunately, the Starduster has a lot of drag, and so I wouldn't recommend trying this in something that's faster, like a RV or a Thorpe or one of those technically aerobatic airplanes, but that go a lot faster. You could end up going down faster than you want to be going. And I've been a little hesitant to even do too much aerobatics on my channel because I don't want to, be that YouTuber guy that is teaching people how to fly aerobatics in their, $20,000 biplanes. But at the same time, it's fun to go do spins, and it's something that I'm going to go work on. And so I'm going to take you along for the ride. The other thing we're going to try, if we have time, is I want to try, the main reason that you want to practice spins kind of before you do too much else is that if you get, if you botch up a maneuver, if you get ham-fisted in a loop and stall your airplane or don't have enough airspeed, you could fall out of a maneuver and end up in a spin. And so you need to be proficient in your spin recovery methods before you try doing other stuff, because if you aren't good, if you don't do the maneuver properly, you could find yourself in a spin. I've never had the Starduster fall out of any maneuvers. I've done loops and rolls with myself and with passengers on board, and I haven't had that happen, but I definitely kind of want to be prepared for that. And so I want to go up and I want to get into kind of the top maybe third of a loop and see if I can get it to stall upside down and go into a spin. I'm not sure that it's even possible because when I'm coming over the top of my loops, I'm not going that fast. And so probably what's going to happen, and I'm going to be upside down and be pulling, back elevator, which is effectively down elevator. So the plane's probably just going to kind of fall over. But we may be able to get it to come around and go get back upright in kind of a half snap roll, half avalanche, if you will. We're also going to try the Bose A30s that my brother has. He said I could borrow them. I'm trying to get some better audio quality for you guys in the cockpit.
Is this thing working? You guys hear me in there? Testing 1, 2, 3. Sounds good to me.
Nevada County Airport, automated weather observation 1722 Zulu. Wind 280 at 4 knots.
Yeah, we're getting a little bit of wind kicking up here, but nothing too crazy.
Hey, Nevada County Starduster, taxi right 125, Nevada County.
Oh boy, that's a little loud. Hopefully that didn't blast you guys too hard. Alright, I think we're about ready to go flying. I'm strapped in. You want your seatbelt to be tight when you're doing aerobatic maneuvers. Otherwise you find yourself with your head out there in the breeze and your hat blown off and yeah.
Nevada County traffic, Starduster, 416 Romeo Bravo, departing 25 straight out Nevada County.
Alright, here we go. Looks like the little Papa boys are going flying. Somebody here visiting in a nice yellow and black Cub there. Here we go.
All right, just about as I get to takeoff speed, I notice my headphones are feeling like they're going to blow off my head. The Bose have a pretty big frame, and yeah, they're gone. Let's ditch those. Fly our plane. I've flown before with headphones in my hat and never had any trouble. Just regular flying. So those must just be catching the wind a little different.
2 Kilo Papa, are you going to go pretty quick here?
No, go ahead.
Roger that.
Nevada County Starduster, turning a little left crosswind 25, Nevada County.
Well, that didn't work out so good. I've flown with my hat and headset before and not had trouble with them blowing off, but this just, it was just not staying on my head. I was hoping that once I got up in the air, I could slow down a little bit and get them to stay on my head, but it wasn't happening. I don't want to lose my brother's A30s. And I don't know if there's an easy way to take these apart. I'll have to look that up to see if I could put them in my little, my little cap here. I got my volumes adjusted a little bit better, so hopefully you'll be able to hear me a little better with these.
Check 1, 2. Alright, is this thing working? You guys hear me?
Nevada County traffic, 9 Romeo Victor, crosswind 25, departing the pattern to the south.
Alright, let's go flying.
NorCal approach, Starduster, 416 Romeo Bravo with the crest. Skyline 6429, turn right heading 070, vector for the visual approach. Heading 070, Skyline 64, so done. And calm with a VFR flight following crest, I think it was 416 Romeo Bravo. Roger, 416 Romeo Bravo. If I could just get advisories, I'm off the ground out of Nevada County here, climbing through 7,500. I'm going to be maneuvering east of the Beale airspace. 6 Romeo Bravo, verify the aircraft type. Starduster, experimental. SoCal 739 Golf Yankee back with you. On a straight out from 14 Marysville, directing dash. 6 Romeo Bravo, squawk 0365. 0365, 416 Romeo Bravo.
Alright, we're up to our 7,500 feet. We're going to do a one-turn spin to the right and see how much altitude we lose.
3 vectors traffic, flighting 250, descend to maintain 7,000.
Heading 250 down to 7,000, Delta 1423.
Delta 1423, once I get you clear traffic, you can expect direct Derby to join the localizer.
Power's coming back. There it is.
Cape Papa Hotel, contact Oakland Center, 132.2, good day.
32-2, good day, Papa Del.
Power's coming back up. Oh, 500 feet. So that one was pretty nice. I came out pretty much on heady, and I kind of used my ailerons to get it where I wanted as I was recovering. But let's try one to the right or to the left for 7,500, and we'll see if we can do that without losing more than about 500 feet. All right, power's coming back. Get right at 5.
Lighting 240, descend to maintain 5,000.
Heading 240. Right at 7,500 here.
1423.
November 15 Bravo, radar service terminated. Clock VFR frequency change approved. Good day.
Clock VFR, frequency change approved. Thanks for the help. 15 Bravo.
Anytime.
There it goes. There's about a half turn. Oh! Power's coming up. Yeah, that one, I was recovered at about 7,100, so I lost about 400, but then I nosed over a little bit to kind of get my airspeed back.
NorCal approach, good morning, Cal Fire 122. Cal Fire 122, NorCal.
Okay, so this is going to be our half turn spin to the right.
700 climbing 6,500 on a maintenance test flight over to Williamson back.
So basically, as soon as it actually starts spinning, we're going to try to recover because we'll be about 180 degrees.
306, Cal Fire 122. Cal Fire 122, radar contact 7 miles north of the Slalom Airport affiliate at 5,300 Sacramento, altimeter 2991. 2991, 5,400, climbing 6,500 to Williams, and then we'll be returning back to home.
All right.
Delta 1423, proceed direct derby, join the localizer, descend to maintain 3,000. Direct derby, join the localizer down to 3,000, Delta 1423.
I thought I heard NorCal talking to me. All right, so we lost, where were we at?
Level 115.
We lost almost 800 feet there.
NorCal approach, Sacramento, altimeter 2991.
Again, I probably could have even pulled out a little sharper once I recovered, but I wanted to make sure I had the airspeed. We hit about 120 knots recovering, and we're, I don't know, 2.5 Gs pulling out, so nothing for the old Starduster. Let's try one going the other way. Okay, we're back up to our 7,500. That's a little high. Let's level off.
23 airport, 11 o'clock, and 20 miles. Inside Delta 14.
We're going to do a half turn to the left.
Visual approach, runway 17 left.
Let's see how much altitude we lose. Let's see if I can recover a little quicker this time. Power's all the way back.
Frisco West 3829, 14,200, descending via the slam.
There it is.
11000.
Okay, whoa.
Good, Delta.
Go with 3829, NorCal approach, thanks for Delta flying runway 17 left.
17 left, go with 3829, signal out, much durability from 10 minutes.
Go with 3829, it's NorCal.
Yeah, so we lost about 700 on that one. Not too bad. So you can, I mean, it's crazy. You can do a full spin and recover and lose less altitude than if you try to recover like halfway into it.
Delta 1423, contact Capital Tower 125.7.
All right, we're getting up here a little higher. We'll get up to 8,000, mainly because we have to drop with the descent a few hundred feet to get up to airspeed to do a loop. We'll just do an old-fashioned loop, see how that feels before we try anything crazy. Okay, we're up. We're 8,200. We got plenty of altitude. So now we're going to go around the top, and as soon as we get to the top, we're going to put the stick in our lap and see what happens. I think I got to keep tightening my seatbelt up. Probably crushing my spine with all these G's. Here we go. We're coming over the top. Pull down. Okay, there's our stall. Yeah. So we were able to get her into a bit of a spin coming over the top.
Yeah, 248, traffic up,
That was kind of cool. I could feel it just starting to spin.
29, contact Capital Tower 125.
As the nose came over and we were pointing down. So I just let off the stick a little bit. She was flying again. All right, so for this one, we're getting a little extra altitude. We're going to do the same thing. We'll go into the loop, and we'll get towards the top of the loop, and then we'll pull back stick. And then once it comes over, we're just going to go ahead and put it right into a spin. We're up here at 8,500, and we'll let her spin a few times on the way down, because I'm about ready to head back. You do about 20, 30 minutes of this kind of stuff, and you've had a good day. But this one should be interesting. Alright, I'm going to turn this around, get over my spot again. We're going to do this one going this way. I'm going to come out of the loop. I'm going to try and spin. Where are we at? We're at 8,500. I'll do 3 rotations and see if I can end pointing at Collins. I probably won't be able to come out right pointing where I want to go, but you never know. We'll try it. Alright, seatbelts tight. Here we go. RPMs, we don't want to overrun the old 320.
Southwest 469, Julie, call level 9,500.
Here we go.
Back to altitude 299.
Full power.
One, that's it.
Coming up over the top. Pull it. Oh. There we go. We're spinning now. Airspeed's about 80. All right, let's get out of here. Opposite rudder. Woo! I got into a little bit of a spiral dive there. I think because I entered the spin just a little too fast.
1328, descend to maintain.
All right, that was fun. Yeah, that one I really got spinning pretty quick there.
Clear visual.
I'm gonna have to count the turns on the camera. I think we probably got 3 or 4 in, but it didn't go quite into an actual spin, and so I wanted to get it spinning because in a spiral dive you can end up over speeding your craft pretty easily. I think I saw maybe 90 knots on the thing, so we never got going that fast. And when we were actually spinning, we were doing about 80, but you definitely don't want to get yourself spiraling going straight down for too long. We really didn't lose that much altitude, so we're going to try a split S. So split S, we want to be slow, because I don't want to end up overspeeding the old Starduster, so we'll probably enter that at about, probably about 70, 80 knots. Flip it over and then pull out.
I have a request, I'll let you know shortly.
Sure, I'm over my spot. Go a little faster.
3881, turn left heading 340, left turn course. 340 heading 734, 380.
Okay, well, we'd like to hold that area still, and, I have
Oh, now that was a lot of fun. I'm going to have to do that some more.
All right, we got the old Starduster back on the ground. She's a trusty flyer. Going up and doing that kind of stuff is so much fun. It's nice when you can, pull off a nice maneuver. I was surprised I could do a 1-turn spin and recover in 500 feet. That's impressive. And then those maneuvers, kind of stalling it at the top of the loop. You can definitely see where, if you weren't quite, if you didn't have the finesse, you could end up, in a spin pretty quick. You want to be ready to recover from a spin if you find yourself in one. We got the old Starduster safely back in the hangar. She's a good flying machine. I just listened to the audio from the Bose, and it sounds a little bit nicer than the old David Clark. So I may, once the channel starts making some real money, maybe I'll buy myself a nice set of 830s. But I think I'm gonna have to figure out a way to put the bows into the, into the hat or the cap, because they sit quite a bit taller than my other headsets, and they were getting blown off on me. So that's not good. But you don't need your headset to fly your plane. So aviate, navigate, and then communicate. It's pretty far down on the list. See you guys. Subscribe to the up here if you want to ride along in the Chief or the Starduster next time, and maybe check out one of my other flights over here.